Good morning and welcome to Psalms. As during June and July we read a selection of the Psalms. There are 150 of them. We're reading just about 25 of those Psalms, but they speak to us about life, about wisdom, and also about faith. And today's Psalm is a Psalm that perhaps speaks to us about commodity and communion. Which way shall we turn? For commodity or communion? And so with that in mind, let's turn straight to Psalm 73. Surely God is good to Israel, to those who are pure in heart. But as for me, my feet had almost slipped. I had nearly lost my foothold. For I envied the arrogant when I saw the prosperity of the wicked. They have no struggles. Their bodies are healthy and strong. They are free from common human burdens. They are not plagued by human ills. Therefore pride is their necklace. They clothe themselves with violence. From the callous heart comes iniquity. Their evil imaginations have no limits. They scoff and speak with malice. With arrogance they threaten oppression. Their mouths lay claim to heaven, and their tongues take possession of the earth. Therefore their people turn to them and drink up waters in abundance. They say, how would God know? Does the Most High know anything? This is what the wicked are like. Always free of care, they go on amassing wealth. Surely in vain I have kept my heart pure and have washed my hands in innocence. All day long I've been afflicted, and every morning brings new punishments. If I had spoken out like that, I would have betrayed your children. When I tried to understand all this, it troubled me deeply. Till I entered the sanctuary of God, then I understood their final destiny. Surely you place them on slippery ground, you cast them down to ruin. How suddenly are they destroyed, completely swept away by terrors. They are like a dream when one awakes. When you arise, Lord, you will despise them as fantasies. When my heart was grieved and my spirit embittered, I was senseless and ignorant. I was a brute beast before you. Yet I am always with you. You hold me by my right hand. You guide me with your counsel, and afterwards you will take me into glory. Whom have I in heaven but you? And earth has nothing I desire besides you. My flesh and my heart fail, but God is the strength of my heart and my portion forever. Those who are far from you will perish. You destroy all who are unfaithful to you. But as for me, it is good to be near God. I have made the sovereign Lord my refuge. I will tell of all your deeds. And so this is our reading for today. And we listen to it. I wonder if there are particular words that struck you in our psalm. It is a psalm that begins and ends with the word good. And there's something here that links back to our first psalm, number 1, that is an introduction that says, blessed are those who meditate, who delight upon the story of God. And we hear, I think, something about this here, this sense of goodness. The person, though, we've heard has been embittered. There feels to be jealousy, as well as they look around the world and see people who are prospering, who are flourishing, who feels like many good things are happening to them. Maybe not the best of people. And we may feel like that. Why do good things happen to bad people? It's the type of thing you hear at times, and it's the type of thing we hear in this psalm, and the person struggling with this sense. I've been following you, God. I've been trusting you, but life doesn't feel always that great. But then our psalmist really feels like, after this opening part of the psalm here, of this struggle within them, wondering whether they should give up in a way of their faith, there is a turn after um, in the second part, apologies, of the psalm. They've entered the sanctuary of God and they've understood, they've gained a new experience. Now, I'm not saying every time we go into church we may have some epiphany or something like that. It may be in a church, it may not be in a church. But there may be times in our lives when we have an experience, an encounter with God that changes our mindset and recognizes within us that actually there is something good about our communion with God, about our communion with one another. That actually our communion, our relationship with God and one another is far more significant than commodities. It's far more significant than the consumerism of our world. That we begin to realize and recognize that when we buy things, there may be a joy, there may be a sense of goodness within it, but it's fleeting and often comes at the cost of someone else or the cost of our planet as we discover more about consumerism and commodity. Whereas the psalmist here is wanting to say, actually, there's something more significant, something more bigger and better, is our communion with God and our communion with one another. You guide me with your counsel. My flesh and my heart may fail, but God is my strength of my heart and my portion forever. But as for me, it is good to be near God. I have made the sovereign Lord my refuge. I will tell of your deeds. And so our psalm today raises the question, what do we perhaps put first? Is it consumerism, the commodities we purchase and buy, or is it our communion, our relationship with God and our relationship with one another? What is most significant to us? That's perhaps our question for this day. And so with that, let's go out and bless the Lord.